Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel. If it is your first time on this channel, my name is George Kingori. I am your online finance guy who is here to educate, to elevate and to motivate you to become a better you. So today I'm going to speak to you who is out there at home, jobless, struggling with paying your bills and wondering how you'll be able to make your ends meet. I'm going to speak to you because indeed I would desire that you are able to make some income even during these difficult times. So what can you be able to do to make ends meet? So today I'm not going to make it long. I'm going to just give you one business you'll be able to start with minimal income and with less input and be able to meet your needs. So this business that I'm talking about is the food business. Why am I saying food during this time? Remember, everyone has to eat. And as long as people have to eat, there is always money to make in the food business. Whether it is by farming, or it is by delivery of food, or it is by creation of food, there is always business, even when the economy is on its knees. So, ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to speak to you about how to start a food delivery business. Yes, food delivery business. One, it is less costly to start. Two, everyone has to eat, whether it is a lockdown or what people have to eat. And three, people always want options on what they can be able to eat. So here is how you can be able to start. So you might be asking yourself, how do I start? What can I cook? There's so easy information out there that can be able to help you to become a good cook, to be able to come up with wonderful recipes that people are going to be looking out for. So here is a few tips that I have been able to summarize for you. On the food, learn how to cook. Ladies and gentlemen, when you know how to cook, you'll be able to make food that people will be running for. In fact, don't just learn how to cook. Learn about the 5 things you need to have at your fingertips when you are making food, not just for business but for your family. 1, the tastes that you need to look out for are 5. 1, sweet. The other one is salty. The other one is sour. The other one is hot. The other one is umami. So have at least 3 of these tastes in your food and people will be running after your food. They will always be looking to taste your food. Check. Each and every scrumptious meal has to have at least 3 of the 5 tastes: sweet, salty, sour, hot, umami. So make sure that the food that you learn how to cook has at least 3 of these tastes. The other thing that you need to know is to play with texture. Again, think about the most memorable food that you've ever had. It mostly had at least 3 textures. What are these textures I'm talking about? One of them is crunchy. The other one is smooth. The other one is juicy. The other one is creamy. Then, of course, the normal texture of food like rice. So make sure you have at least 3 of those textures in the food that you're going to prepare. And people will be begging you for the food. There will be more demand than what you can be able to supply. The other thing that you need to play with is color. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, when we visualize, when we see images of food, we become hungry. And that is why people who are always looking to cook always make the time to be able to arrange the plate in a way, to be able to arrange the colors and even the garnish on top of the foods that are prepared by the chefs. Always play around with colors. So play around with at least 3 colors. They will always have white from the rice and the starch that you're going to have, but at least ensure that you have 3 colors that are readily available on your food. The first one is red. Ensure there is some red, some deep red. Especially for the sauces, it usually invites salmon. The other thing is yellow. Then the other one is orange. Just learn from nature. That is why flowers are either red or yellow or orange or some bright color. Why? To be able to attract animals. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, we are animals. We need to be attracted by these colors. So make sure that your food is not just white or plain. Your food is red or orange or yellow. And remember the textures: crunchy, smooth, creamy, and juicy. Ensure that, one, your meat is juicy and tender, and people will be running after your meal. So ensure that once you have learned how to combine these colors and textures, you come up with a meal plan. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, people need to be taught what you are providing for. Because you are not an established restaurant, you can only be able to provide at least 3 meals. So ensure that you have 3 meals that you can be able to provide. At maximum per day, provide 2 meals, but you have 3 meal options. So this food should be one that is easy to make and is most likely acceptable to many, and you can be able to source the ingredients at a cheap cost. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, you are starting out. Don't start charging $10 for a plate of food. So ensure that you are making food that is ready. The resources that you need to make the food are locally available and accessible, that you can be able to learn and be able to cook quickly. In fact, any meal that takes more than an hour, avoid. Ensure that you are able to source the ingredients and be able to create these ingredients. The other thing that you need to learn is, because you have learned the recipes, square down every ingredient to a recipe. Ensure that you have everything written down to a recipe. So you are making 100 plates of food. You need this number of kgs of rice or pounds of rice. You need this amount of salt. You need this amount of spice, and all these things. Square down to a science. The reason I say that you need to square down to a science is you need to make your business scalable. Remember, once you have brought the first batch of clients, and because your food is good and is wonderful, you need to ensure that you can be able to leave the recipe for somebody to follow and make the exact food that you are making. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, the easiest way to lose clients is to lose consistency in taste. One day your food is too salty, the other time is too hot, the other time it is burnt down. So ensure that you have squared it down to a science, so that if you have an employee who is following, they can be able to follow to the latter. Ladies and gentlemen, once you have squared it out to a science, you need to identify, what is my potential market? The easiest way you can be able to get a market is look at your surrounding, where you are easily located. Remember, you are starting out, so you want your cost not to balloon. And the closer the people that you are feeding or providing the food to are to your place, the cheaper it is going to for you to get that food to the market. So ensure that you have squared out an area that you're going to supply. Then start to market. Create images, post them near your friends. Remember, where you live around is where your friends and family are going to be. Then post good pictures. Be able to give free samples. In fact, the first week, be going around and giving samples and giving your card, so that people can be able to have a taste of your amazing meal. Remember, you are untested, you are unproven, so it is time that you prove that you are able and capable to provide wonderful meals to your potential clients. So ensure that the first week you are marketing. Once you have a market, then you can be able to sit down and have people order in your food. Remember, the reason people eat fast food is because they do not have cheap, readily accessible, wonderful food. The reason they eat the greasy fries and the chicken is because they do not have a wonderful meal of, say, chicken tikka that they can be able to get easily and accessible. So ensure that your meals are fighting on price and they are wonderful on quality and taste, and you'll be able to have a big market. Then ensure that you have a time frame. Ensure that you deliver food on a time frame. Remember, you are not a big establishment. Most likely, you are starting out alone or with one other person. So ensure that you cook your food at a specific time and deliver at a specific time. You are not a big business. You are not a fast food. You do not have established distribution channels. So ensure that you have taught your clients to know that you are delivered between a certain time and a certain time. So if your meals take an hour to prepare and you are targeting the lunch market, ensure that your meals are available by 12 so that you can start supplying to your people. Then ensure that you can supply from 12 to, say, 2 so that you can be able to make your last delivery at 2. Ladies and gentlemen, the easiest people that you can be able to target are people in building, office blocks and buildings. The people who cannot go out and get food because they're too busy working. Ensure that you capture a building. Once you have like a 5-story building with a lot of businesses and a lot of clients, most likely they have at least 200 people in that business. Get at least 50 of them asking for food on a daily basis, Monday to Friday, and you have delivery from Monday to Friday and a good business. Ladies and gentlemen, you capture 2 or 3 of this business and you will be able to get 100 meals per day. This will be able to meet your daily expenses. Ladies and gentlemen, the other question that you might ask yourself is, how do I price this food? The easiest way you can be able to price this food is calculate all your costs. The cost of food, the cost of labor, the cost of fuel, the cost of transportation. Then double that figure so that you can be able to mark up your food by 100% of your costs. Yes, even by marking up 100% of the cost, you are still cheap enough for the people to be able to buy on a daily basis and be able to make a profit, to be able to make a living wage. So ensure that your meals do not go above $5 per plate. Above $5 per plate. Ensure the way you have arranged your meals, they can be able to have an option where somebody can be able to choose food without meat. So ensure that you do not mix the food with meat. Ensure that meat is an added option. Why? Because you're also targeting the people who do not eat meat consistently or are vegetarians. So ensure that the meat comes as an add-on. Ensure that you practice with meat that is not offensive to people of a different religion. So go less on pork and go more on fish and chicken that is readily acceptable by many people, even the people who are so keen on health and keeping away from red meat. So you have priced your food, you have learned how to cook, you have gotten your market and you have marketed, you have priced your food accordingly, and you are working out your delivery. Ladies and gentlemen, once you push consistency and you are reliable to a science, then you need to learn how to, once you have been able to get the market, learn how you can be able to scale up efficiently. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are able to sell food, remember I said 100% profit on the costs of goods and services that you have provided on that food. So if your cost of production per plate is $2 and you're charging $4 per plate, ladies and gentlemen, if you get at least 100 people, you'll be able to make $200 in profit per day. $200 in profit per day. Even if you work for 20 days in a month, you'll be able to get $4,000. You have an annual income of $48,000. Ladies and gentlemen, that is your business. That is income that you could be generating. So learn how to cook. There's so many recipes that are out there. You have hands and you have the knowledge and the capacity, and I have taught you how to market and how to price your food. So ensure that you have these things to a science. Then you can be able to scale and add additional kitchens and additional locations, get a delivery food truck and delivery people, and scale up accordingly. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, I am here to help you to be able to make a living despite having a job. So if you are worried about joblessness, now I have given you the skills and the tips and the way forward on how you can get away from being broke. So if you have any questions, any queries, and any comments, leave them at the comment section. Remember to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and let me know the things that you need for me to cover. So today I have taught you how to make a living wage even though you are unemployed. So remember to subscribe, to like, to subscribe, and to leave a comment and let me know the things that you desire for me to cover. Thank you.